It seems that last Sunday, May 21st, has been marked as a before and after for the Spanish league. And the glorious Liga has been involved in a rather critical situation that for many people got out of control. On this occasion, we're talking about what seems like a throwback in history many years ago, where racism and xenophobia take center stage. What happened? Here we tell you about it. It all seemed like an ordinary away match for Real Madrid, but everything began to take on a very tense atmosphere after a controversial play in which a ball enters the field and the defender makes it crash into the ball that was in play, thus interrupting the action. From the start of the match, according to the Real Madrid goalkeeper, offensive barbarities were shouted against the Madrid players. But at one point, Vinicius Jr pauses. A foreign object is thrown onto the field of play against the Brazilian player, and from that moment on, the game changes. While waiting for the ball to restart, the player has a few exchanges of gestures with the fans. And suddenly, he starts pointing at one fan specifically, one who is specifically doing the monkey gesture. While the ball is still not in play, Vinicius Jr leaves the pitch to identify the people attacking him. And from the stands, a very loud chorus could be heard, split between fool and monkey. The Madrid players approach the stands as Vinicius tries to get the referee's attention. The game is stopped and all the players are exalted, Vinicius Jr more than anyone else. So much so that the decision was made to take him out of the game for this situation. However, the referee does not accept that request, as it seems there is some protocol against racism in the league that does not allow it. This is certainly not the first time we have seen this type of scenario in football. In previous years, other players have gone through similar situations. One of the most similar is Samuel Eto'o, when he played for FC Barcelona. He also got fed up and stopped the game, saying no more, and the referee also intervened to keep the player in the match. Samuel Eto'o sometime later did an interview in which he was able to vent and talk about his struggles against racism throughout his career, stating that your skin color does not make you more or less than someone else. He even says that there is no reason why anyone should feel superior to anyone else. The reality is that the Real Madrid star's issue doesn't end there, because after he was still in the match, what many expected happened. Vinicius got into an altercation with one of the Valencia players and ended up being sent off. The scandalous thing about this is the play. The referee only takes into account Vinicius's actions and not the whole action. The VAR does not show the whole action, let alone when the Villarreal player grabs him by the neck in a violent manner. This completely affirms the persecution that the Brazilian seems to have had during the whole season, in which he receives blow after blow, but apparently the referees only stop to see when Vinicius commits an infraction. These attacks against the player have not only been this season. The truth is that this player has been the center of attention since he joined the first team, because he didn't seem to have the experience, the technique, nor the skill to belong in the first team. However, for some time now he has carried the burden of being the different player, the one who carries the weight of the team on his back. But he has also been the most persecuted player to take as many blows as possible in order to stop him. However, we should all agree that this is not a reason to insult him in derogatory and racist ways as it has happened. After the match, Ancelotti is confronted by a journalist who claims that the fans were shouting "fool" and not "monkey." But Ancelotti knows that the referee would not have stopped the match if they were just shouting "dumb," claiming that the protocol of racism is not opened by an insult like "dumb." Right now, the spotlight is on Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr. So much so that many coaches and footballers have given their support to Vinicius' situation, including his eternal rival El Football Club Barcelona. His coach Xavi Hernandez has shown his solidarity and support for the player by sharing in a press conference and saying, "This goes beyond the shirt. We are people before footballers." According to the coach, he had always wanted to express his displeasure with all the insults he receives when he is working, even from his own fans. This tells us the level of which the message has reached. So much so that coaches and players from other leagues have spoken out against racism. Jurgen Klopp, manager of Liverpool FC, also rocked the world with his press conference, in which he was asked if he felt Vinicius had been provocative when confronted, saying, "Nothing justifies racism. The only thing I can say about Vinicius is that he is a world-class player." It seems that the idea that Vinicius's play is provocative is becoming an excuse for insults on and off the pitch. However, Vinicius Jr. has received the support of the entire Real Madrid FC squad, and his actions have touched the entire sporting world. Even members of the women's division have expressed their support for the player. Now, what has the league done? After all the fuss, Javier Tebas, president of La Liga, published a tweet addressed to Vinicius. Since those who should explain to you what it is and what the league can do in cases of racism, we have tried to explain it to you, but you have not shown up to either of the 2 agreed dates that you yourself requested. Before you criticize and slander the league, you need to inform yourself properly. Don't let yourself be manipulated, and make sure you have a good understanding of each other's competences and the work we have been doing together. To which Vinicius responded, "It wasn't the first time, nor the second, nor the third. Racism is normal in La Liga. The competition thinks it's normal, the federation thinks it's normal, and the opponents encourage it. I am sorry, the championship that once belonged to Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Cristiano, and Messi today belongs to the racists. A beautiful nation which welcomed me and which I love, but which agreed to export to the world the image of a racist country. I am sorry for those Spaniards who disagree, but today in Brazil, Spain is known as a country of racists. And unfortunately, for everything that happens every week, I have no defense. I agree. But I'm strong and I will go all the way against the racists, even if it's far away from here." And after a few threads of talks, hopefully an agreement has been reached. What happened to the fans who were singled out? A camera of the Goal channel was able to directly identify those Vinicius pointed out. You can clearly see who they are in the faces of the aggressors Vinicius denounced. It is said that the public prosecutor's office has opened an investigation to determine whether these events could be a hate crime, and they have already been able to identify 2 of the fans who insulted the footballer. And Valencia issued a statement saying that they will expel for life all the fans involved in the Vinicius case. However, police in Spain announced that 4 people were arrested for hanging a Vinicius Jr. dummy from a bridge. This time in the capital city, apparently they were all Atleti fans. And according to police, they were able to get to them through witnesses and open-source inquiries. And they were added to the high-risk list in the sports violence prevention devices. These young fans who are between 19 and 24 years of age are already in court, and one of these 4 detainees already had offenses of injury in other altercations. The dummy was placed under a bridge with a banner saying, "Madrid hates Real Madrid." The reality is that this situation has been going on for many years now, and it seems that it is time for it to stop. We can also remember other footballers who have gone through similar situations in which they have been affected by racist insults and actions, even by the players themselves. Dani Alves and the famous banana he ate at a corner kick, Inaki Williams and the monkey noises after the game, Mario Balotelli when they claimed there are no black Italians, Prince Boateng who kicked the ball against the racists and he and his team left the game, which had only been played for 25 minutes. And we cannot forget Luis Suarez's gesture against Patrice Evra by not greeting him and insulting him during the matches they played against each other. The action of Vinicius has revolutionized the whole world, and the problem of the bunch became a sensitive issue. But as the prestigious coach Pep Guardiola said, the problem is that the bunch is everywhere, even in football. If people would focus on football, if this was only football, we would be safe. In the last home game, the Santiago Bernabeu opened the match with a giant banner saying "Vinicius somos todos, basta ya." Vinicius is all of us, enough is enough. And in the 20th minute, the fans gave a special ovation to the player who was in the presidential box. We'll see where it all goes. Thanks for joining us for another video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more football news. We'll see you next time.